Hello everybody, and welcome to another UIM Slaughter progress log. Last episode we left off, we just got the Mochalato cloth, and this episode, I'm kind of diving deep into the skilling arc. I've decided to commence phase 1 of the Road to Max operation. I kind of wanted to get 3 tier 80 weapons before hitting 2k total. Like, I think that would have been kind of neat, having both a Fang and a Yok before 2k total. But now I'm just kind of realizing that I would rather play the game with max cape. And to be honest, this will be my first time ever maxing a RuneScape account, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. So yeah, when we left off was at Wintertodd, and since I've last done Wintertodd, there has been a new piece of fletching content added to the game called Veil Totems. And I really wanted to get the fletching knife so that I could kind of maximize the free fletching XP at Wintertodd, because what I'm looking at for fletching is doing broad arrows, which is about like 6 GP per XP, so it's like 60 mil roughly, 64 mil to 99 from where I'm at. So every little bit of free fletching XP I can get saves me like literally millions of GP. So yeah, that's kind of the play for fletchings. So I used what I had in Wintertodd. I had like 400 permits stored up, so I searched them. I got full Pyromancer, and I used all the noted logs at Veil Totems. Unfortunately, I didn't end up getting the knife with those noted logs, so I camped the Baby Mole for a bit, which has a pretty common drop of 1 in 100 noted U logs, until I got like 300 of them, and then continued doing some Veil Totems. I could have just chopped the trees, but I really enjoy doing Veil Totems with noted logs. I don't really like doing it where I stop and chop. So I decided to just bang out some mole KC, do some combat achievements, get some U logs, and then once I got the fletching knife, I went back to Wintertodd. I didn't end up getting the knife as a drop, but I got a spool and a Greenman mask, and by selling those and getting some points by just doing Veil Totems, I ended up having enough to buy the knife, so kind of left Veil Totems with a full green log, which is kind of cool. So finally back here at Wintertodd, got the full Pyromancer outfit this time, and a fletching knife, which should speed this up a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a little faster. That's pretty awesome. Which is nice, because even though I have a few less inventory slots because of the Pyromancer outfit, I should be able to still compete. I started this game at like 50%, so I'm just doing this for some fire making XP. And yeah, with the set bonus and our new levels, we're getting quite a bit more XP per offer, so that is good. And I imagine the end of game XP bonus is also going to be pretty nice. Wow, first game with the fletching knife and almost 1,000 points in a mass world. So I think that thing was worth going for, even if it's just for the extra rewards. XP per hour is up to 242 after the first game, so we'll give it a couple games and we'll see what it's looking like. Well, shit, I was completely zoned out and I missed the level, but boom, 90 fire making. That's nice, and this game's almost over, so we're going to finish this up and then I'm going to go do a farm run. Got a bunch of seeds that I still need to process. I want to try and empty the seed box as much as possible before I claim all my rewards. So let's go do that. So the neat part about the fletching knife is it is storable in the magic wardrobe, which is really nice. We can pretty much come grab this anytime we need to do some fletching, which will be, I imagine, super useful at some point. Let's go put the dragon axe away too. Probably not going to do some more Wintertodd until tomorrow. Ooh, I would love a surprise exam. Probably going to start putting these tomes and books of knowledge on rune crafting, just because based off of you know, my current skill phase, I don't think Herblore is going to take nearly as long as runecrafting is, to be honest. With mixology and herbivore and hunter rumors, like the current route I have is going to provide me with a lot of herbs, and then whatever I have left over, I'm sure I can get through wildy bossing or Chambers of Xerix. So yeah, looking at 240 hours of rune crafting at the moment is a little more daunting for me. So I'm going to focus on that. So at this point, I took a little break from Wintertodt at around like 90 or 91 fire making to clear up some bag space, because I was a little bit concerned about like how many potential rewards there were from Wintertodt. And my looting bag is like already full, and I didn't want to run into like a juggling issue where I had to like juggle death piles for, you know, hours on end. I was like, that's a really easy way to wipe. So yeah, looking at like a full looting bag here, I was really thinking about like what's the best items I get rid of. Obviously, I could get rid of these herbs, and then I knew I was wanting to get rid of these dragon stones and gold bars. I had been saving them for the ornate jewelry box, but at the time that I first went to go for it, I didn't realize you had to go to the wilderness to charge the jewelry, and I just didn't want a death pile at that given moment, so I didn't. But now was better time than ever, because I was about to death pile to do some potion making. So yeah, thankfully, this went off without a hitch. Managed to make it to the whatchamacallit, Fountain of Rune, and charge these no problem, and upgrade my jewelry box to the ornate max jewelry box, which feels pretty damn good. So that, yeah, that was like a nice thing to get out of the way. It also just cleared up 2 inventory slots because I'd been hanging on to these gold bars and dragon stones from Toa, because I had planned on using them for this and a little bit of cheeky crafting XP. But once I finished this, I just ended up selling the extra dragon stones for some GP, and I think it was like 300k that I got off it, so it wasn't even too bad. Alright, we just hit 91 fire making on the Ultimate Iron Man, 611,000 XP till 92, which will be halfway, so another 2 and a bit hours. Probably going to reset the XP tracker, because probably going to get a little bit more XP per hour now that I'm getting a higher XP drop. But yeah, I mean, in terms of 99s, this is like, it's pretty fast. I wouldn't even say this is like a real 99, like only 30, 40 hours compared to like every other skill in the game is like at least 40 or 50 hours in an Iron Man. But I mean, fire making is like so free at Wintertodt these days. It's, yeah, I wouldn't really, this is like not really a true 99 or a true grind. This is just like a couple days of detour, and it's really chill content, so that's pretty brainless, pretty easy. So yeah, I'm not too worried about this grind. Looking at some of the other ones I have ahead of me, this one is pretty chill. 92 fire making. I am good at making fires. Looking at 2.5 hours till 93. Might be able to get that tonight. I don't know how many levels I recorded yesterday, but finished the night with 93 fire making. About 2 mil XP gained yesterday. So pretty good day. But yeah, my time off from the holidays is over, so back to work now. So XP is probably going to be a little bit slower. But I'm going to reset this for the day, see what we get. And yeah, I just logged on, so didn't even contribute enough to this game, but figured I'd get some free construction XP. So yeah, probably another 25 hours to 99, probably less, we'll see. Alright, so I'm going to try implementing some new tech at Wintertodt. I found this Winter Scouter plugin, so I'm going to reset all the XP per hour here. And we'll head back to this Winter Scouter plugin. Basically, the idea is at the end of each match, instead of AFKing for a minute, you hop to another world where you have enough time to finish another game and get more XP drops per hour, essentially, more of the end of match drops. Because if you think about it, if you're finishing a match every 5 minutes and you have a minute of AFK time at the end of that, over the course of an hour you're finishing 10 matches, and 50 minutes of that hour is spent playing and 10 minutes is spent just sitting there waiting for the next game. So why not use that 10 minutes to get, like, you know, an extra 100k XP? Because at the end of each match you're getting basically a 10k XP drop at level 93, right? Like 930. So it kind of just makes more sense to me to like use those 10 minutes to like try and squeeze in 2 or 3 more Wintertodt games and get like anywhere from 20k to 80k to 100k more XP, depending on, you know, how efficient I am being. So yeah, I think that's the plan. So I recently hit level 94 fire making, which is sweet. And the XP per hour is actually sitting around 350,000 XP per hour. On the low end, about 330k. On the high end, about 350k when I can time the games properly. I found the sweet spot is about 65%. So if a game has like 65%, I can pretty much guarantee that I'll have enough time to get points, especially if I can heal a pyromancer. But there are, like, 311 tends to be a less popular world, so the games on that one take a really long time. So I also gotta be careful about, like, player count. I notice that makes a big difference. But yeah, so far this method is a lot better. Brought the hours down to like 13 hours to 99, so yeah, this is gonna be a fucking breeze. Hopping into this one at 60%, 58. Ooh, this might be tight, but sometimes we get lucky if the pyromancer goes down and we can catch a heal or two. Each heal is worth about 75 points, so even if we don't get enough logs fletched and burned, we can still sometimes get lucky with the healing, which is why I'm hovering my mouse over here if I see a... oh, missed one. If I see any smoke going over there, I'm running. Like anything falling over him. 95 fire making. I am good at making fires. Alright, another day, another dollar. 1.7 mil XP gained yesterday, most of that fire making obviously, but 81k fletching, 20k construction, it all adds up. I think I'm gonna get a free construction level for sure by the time I hit 99. Which is pretty fucking sweet. That's kind of the reason I'm doing this in the order I'm doing, is to kind of minimize overlap. For example, I plan on doing barb fishing pretty much from 91 to 99, which will yield about 1 mil agility XP. I think it's closer to like 800k, but still. So imagine like grinding for 200 hours to 99 agility, like 13 mil XP, just to get a free 1 mil while you're doing fishing anyways. So that's kind of the reason I went down this like rabbit hole of like what's the most efficient way to do this, because I don't want to waste XP on one skill that I'm going to gain in another. Which is part of the reason that I got to do about 240 hours of rune crafting before I touch crafting or mining, because I just don't want to waste XP, and I'm kind of like locked in on maxing right now. I might, you know, if I get bored of skilling, I'm just going to go do PVM. I'm going to go do more Doom. I'm going to go do Toa, things that help with my farm and herb supply. I could work on diary achievements. Like that's the blessed thing about having a Bofa and a Fang, is the world is kind of my oyster right now. Getting an Eye of a Yak would certainly help. I would love that. But, you know, it's kind of, you know, the glowing hole has spoken. The Mokalotl cloth is the first play. And we just kind of take what we get and we work with it, right? That's kind of the UIM lifestyle. By the way, if you fletch and light, you can basically save a tick on that fletch action. You fletch it while you're lighting, you still get the bonus XP and points for both. Can help get you a couple more points an hour. 90 freaking 6. Dude, I'm a fire maker. I just be making fires. Like, it's crazy. That is crazy. Alright, that is absolutely bonkers. I just checked the XP tracker for the first time in a minute. And I'm at about 430k XP per hour, which is, like I said, fucking bonkers. I'm at level 96 now, so yeah, I guess, you know, a little bit more XP per game end, but didn't think it was going to be that significant. I did just hop over this world, so it was pretty recently after the hop, but still, you know, like it's pretty damn good. So yeah, we'll see what it's like in another hour or so, but currently at this rate, looking at less than 2 hours to 97, which is, again, bonkers. It's going by super fast. Probably like a 3 or 4 day 99, so not bad at all. And there we go, 97 fire making. Big number, looking at about 3 and a bit hours to 98, and then I'm assuming another 4 or 5 hours to 99, so pretty good on pace here. About 7 more hours to 99, which is not too bad. Tomorrow's a Friday, so maybe I will stay up late and grind it out, try to get it done Friday night, and then that way I can move on to the next phase of the skilling time to max, which I think is going to be a mix of Guardians of the Rift and Temperos. I don't hate Guardians of the Rift, but I can only really do it for like 2 or 3 hours at a time before I get really bored of it. And I want to do some Temperos 91. And I was thinking about it, and like both of them require pretty much an empty inventory and lunar spells. And then like if I use Barbarian Fishing and I don't use a harpoon, I can pretty much just hold my pickaxe and yeah, pretty much have like the same inventory for both. So when I want to switch from one to the other, it'll be relatively easy. So yeah, I think that's going to be the play. But anyway, let's continue with the fire making gains. Alright, I've officially breached 2 mil XP gain today. It's kind of like a crazy number, new record for me in terms of XP gained in one day. And it honestly wasn't like a crazy play session today. It was more so just that this new method is way better XP per hour. And if I had been doing this the whole time, this probably would have been a little bit faster, but you know, it is what it is. Either way, we're not looking at too much left, and yeah, good progress. Alright, I thought I would take this opportunity to kind of show where we're at on the spreadsheet. I made some updates to it. Found out you can actually just take the API from Wise Old Man, and you can just like literally import data from your username, and it imports like literally fucking everything from Wise Old Man as like a usable like reference or like, so I'm sorry, I'm used to programming, so I'm trying to like, I want to call them functions, but I know they're not functions in Sheets. It's like something else. But either way, you can bring in all this data from Wise Old Man and call upon it like you would API for like anything else. So you can literally just like extract from the rejects fire making experience. And this is so much easier because what I was doing before was just scrubbing the web page and grabbing this value, which was kind of annoying because you could see they're below 10 mil, they round it with a K value, you know, like 1509K instead of saying like 1,509,000 or 1,508,000 rather. They round it so you don't get the exact value, and then you also have to deal with separating this like you know, like integer from actual or sorry, like a string from integers. So it's kind of annoying. So using the data and just sourcing it directly is actually a lot easier. I get a way more accurate thing, and it's a lot easier to use. So highly recommend that if anybody's going to do something like this. And then the other thing is I forgot to add woodcutting in this. So I was actually like below 1,200 hours. I was at like 1970 something. I was making good progress. I was feeling really happy. And then I remembered woodcutting. And I put it in here, and my hours are back to like 1220. That added like 52 hours to the grind, so that sucks. On the bright side, we are at just under 6 hours left till 99 fire making. So I'm gonna try and blast that out tonight. 6 hours from now would be just before midnight, so it's doable. But yeah, and it is Friday. I don't work tomorrow morning, so, but I do have to be up early regardless for other stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what I really feel like doing. But yeah, 2.4 mil gained yesterday for XP. 2.2 fire making specifically. And we're pretty close to a construction level. So yeah, let's reset all those for the day. Wow, just hit 82 fletching off of Wintertod. That is pretty nice. Every little bit of fletching XP here saves us a ton of cash. I think it's actually like 5.9 GP per XP, which is fucking ludicrous. Fletching is a super expensive skill if you plan on zero timing it, which is what I plan on doing to save like 80 hours. Because, you know, I went 1300 dry at Corrupt Gauntlet, may as well fucking capitalize on that in some way and save myself like 80 hours on another grind with the extra money. Why not, right? I feel like I worked hard for that, so may as well reward myself. But yeah, so each XP that I save here is like 5.9 GP. So from like 81 to 82, I mean, that's like a couple mil saved right there. That's like 5 or 6 mil. So that is pretty fucking awesome, just off some Winter Todd levels. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. About an hour until 98, and then from there, I'm assuming 3 or 4 hours till 99. And I think I'm just going to stay up late tonight and try and blast it out tonight, and then that way I can get all prepped for Guardians of the Rift tomorrow and Temperos, and just start doing those. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm kind of excited a little bit, to be honest, just to do something else. And I think it's like a good idea to do agility, or sorry, rune crafting. Because like the worst two skills to train are rune crafting and agility, objectively, like just the amount of time it's going to take and the XP per hour. So I think getting rune crafting to like 90 or 92 early will be a good idea, and then I can take a long break from it and do some other stuff, and when I come back to it, it won't seem like such a daunting task with like 100 hours left. Agility I'm not so worried about because I genuinely really enjoy Sepulcher. Yeah, I am not worried about that at all. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a good opportunity to do some fletching and some alching to try and finish up 99 magic. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. Anyway, I will see you guys at 98 fire making. 98 fire making, you love to see it. 1950 total level on the Ultimate Iron Man. Feels so good. Looking at another 3.5 hours till 99, so that's pretty baller. 3.5 hours is pretty doable. I think I will truck through that tonight. Just power through it, stay up a little later, and get it done. Wow, just hit woodcutting level 83 from Winter Todd, which is kind of cool. Saves me a little bit of time later on for construction and also just future woodcutting grind, so that's good. Alright, officially less than 100,000 experience, 99, just 96k left. So we're in that final stretch. Should be about 15-20 minutes to 99, so almost there. As far as 99s go, this is definitely like the easiest one. So I think it's good to get this out of the way and kind of give me some supplies for the other ones. And speaking of supplies, we are almost at 1,000 loot rolls stored up here, which is pretty sweet. Alrighty, this should be, oh, I'm idling, there we go. Boom. 99 fire making. You love it. You love to see it. You love to see it. 99 fire making. Well, as you can see, you guys, I am good at making fires. In fact, I might be the fucking best to ever do it. But so I wanted to show like all in one video 99 fire making and then what I'm gonna do with all the loot for Winter Todd. But we're already at like 23-24 minutes here, and I feel like that's gonna be like a really long video because I'm not even halfway through my clips. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just end this video here, and then I'm gonna have another progress log where I show like what I did with all the Winter Todd loot, because there was a fuck ton of it. Like it took 3 or 4 days to process. I genuinely think 99 fire making took less time than processing all the drops from 99 fire making. Like it was literally like 3 or 4 days. So I'm gonna save that for another video. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around, guys. I'm at like 30 subs already on my channel, and I pretty much like just started really doing YouTube this year. I mean, I tried a little Minecraft in the past, but never really took it seriously, and now I'm like actually starting to, I don't know, I guess semi-take this idea seriously. And yeah, like all the comments and the support has been really cool, so I really appreciate it. I'll be honest, I'm kind of like hesitant on the whole YouTube thing. Like I'm an electrician by trade, and I would love to do YouTube for a career, but over the course of like 8 or 9 years, I have had multiple YouTube channels in like different avenues, and I've like tried to do the YouTube thing before, and it just doesn't seem to click. And it feels bad to put like hundreds of hours of editing work into a video for like nothing to come out of it. So that's kind of why like these videos are super low effort and like super low editings, like low production value. Is I just don't want to keep seeing myself put like a ton of effort into something that like doesn't really garner much like support or attract like much views. So it's kind of cool to me that like this has been like I don't want to say like my laziest content, but it definitely is. Like I'm not putting much effort into the production side of it, and I'm putting more effort into the part that I care about, which is like playing the account. Um, and I feel like the support has been really cool. So that's I really appreciate that. It's yeah like a refreshing change of pace, and it kind of makes me feel like I'm on the right track. Like it's okay if my editing is shit as long as like the stuff I'm doing in the videos is kind of entertaining, and if it makes somebody's day better, then that's a win in my books. So yeah, without without anything else, I'm just gonna say have a good day, you guys. Hope your holidays were good. Happy New Year, and I hope this new year is kind to you all, and that you seize every day. You know, that's all we can do. I love you.